day when Wisey called it a day. It was a great result. You know, it was a difficult game. I remember the conditions were poor. You know, there was a lot of rain that night before and on the day of the game, and it was a bombshell after the game that, you know, he left us. And the club asked me, obviously, would I be interested to take over on the short term. It's something, as you know, that I would love to do in the future, you know, coaching, managing, and of course I accepted it. You know, someone had to do it and someone had to take charge, and you know, I was honoured to be asked and to be thought of in that category, and I really thank the board now and the chairman for allowing me to do that. For 2 weeks it was a busy time for me, and I brought Barry Hunter in, you know, my connections down at Reading, and Baz was available, and you need help. You know, when you take over as a manager, or particularly like myself as a player manager, you need people around you, and you know, if I could have brought in 2 or 3 people, that would have made life a lot easier. But you know, we brought Barry in, and you know, we give it our best shot. It was manic and we enjoyed it, but it was different.
Aidy Williams' first game in charge couldn't have been against more difficult opposition. In-form Lincoln City arrived at the county ground chasing promotion, and they weren't about to offer Town any favours. Jamie Forrester was on hand to capitalise on a defensive mistake just after the hour to score the decisive winner. Next up was a home clash with Hereford United, and a goal on the half hour from Christian Roberts sent Town on their way. However, a goal either side of the break from Andy Williams sent the Bulls away with a win, leaving Swindon without a single point from their 2 home encounters.
It's difficult to answer, you know, how it changes from being a player to a manager in, you know, one sentence. Everything changes. You know, my relationship with all the lads, I think, have been good. I enjoy their company, we get on well. But all of a sudden you're picking a side and you're leaving players out, and you know, it's not personal, it's just what you think is best for the team, for the club, and of course, you know, I've been in that situation before. Managers have dropped me, left me out for various reasons, and it's not nice. So, you know, there was 1 or 2 knocks on the door and said, you know, why was this and why was that? But one thing I've always wanted to be is fair. You know, I think I'm a fair fella, and I'm an honest man, and I told them the reason, you know, and at the end of the day, they walked out, and I think, you know, they weren't happy being left out of that team, but they can understand it. So, you know, everything changes. I was changing in a different dressing room, I was turning up at a different time. The whole shebang is completely a new experience, and one that I'll always remember, and enjoyed it. The hours were, you know, completely different to what a professional footballer was used to. You know, professional footballers are spoiled. The sport rotten. They turn up, they've got their kit laid out, they change, they train, they throw their boots down, they get the boots clean, they get their kit clean, they look good, they're in the mirror, washing themselves and looking nice to drive home, and then they do that again the following day. And you know, when you're a manager, you're first in and you're last away. It's as simple as that. And you know, I said to the board and the chairman and everybody that if it's going to be me for a week, 2 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it might be, then guarantee that I will give it 100%. And you know, I'll always look in the mirror, and I know for a fact that myself and Barry, we give it everything. We were travelling around the country, watching reserve games, watching first team games. As soon as we finished training, we were talking about the next day's training. You know, do we need to do a bit more with the strikers, or do we need to do a little bit on the defensive work? So, you know, the whole lot changes, but one hell of an experience. I'm just truly grateful that I was given the chance.
Thanks, Willie. Yes, we're very fortunate to secure the services of Paul Sturrock, obviously a very experienced manager. He's bringing in with him a team of coaches, which includes Kevin Summerfield and John Blackley. They will continue the work that Dennis Wise did to try and consolidate our fight for promotion this season.
Must be pleased and relieved, I guess. He's arrived and you got someone back on top.
Yes, he's on the A list. He was the man that possibly we didn't think we'd be able to get, but we rang him and he's accepted the job, and the board is absolutely delighted that he's accepted the appointment of being Swindon Town manager. It's great that we've had two high-profile managers this year. We got Dennis Wise, which we didn't think we'd ever be able to get a manager as high-profile as him, and unfortunately he's gone off to Leeds a bit sooner than anticipated. We thought we possibly would be able to keep him for a year, then we'd be off somewhere. But anyway, that he's gone, and we've replaced him with another A-League sort of man, Paul Sturrock. Great, fantastic.
What made you decide to come to Swindon?
The challenge. I think I was asked, the first club I was asked for, and I've always believed in that. If somebody wants you, if things are all worked out properly, that you go. And they asked me. My coaches were very comfortable with it. It's a nice part of the country. So, and in the end, there's a football team that's fourth top of the league. It won't take much tinkering, but the one or two areas we'll have to strengthen. But we're very comfortable that we're going to be competitive all season.
I knew when I was offered the appointment to take over that they were looking, and obviously having interviews with people, and I think Paul Sturrock's name came up. And I'm not sitting here to be nice to anybody. It's a fantastic appointment. He's got promotions under his belt. He's been at big club. He's worked with big players. He knows the lower divisions. He knows who to ring to make loan signings and things, and a great appointment. I think Swindon Town have been blessed this season to have two great managers. I should say three, but two great managers. Obviously Dennis at the start of the season, and the gaffer currently. So yeah, big appointments. But I think the board and the chairman should be congratulated with getting those two right.
Paul Sturrock's first away game in charge saw Town make the trip down the M5 to take on Torquay United. A penalty on the hour from striker Christian Roberts, his fourth in 3 games, was enough to secure a valuable victory. The win came at a cost though, with Paul Evans sustaining an injury which sidelined him for the month. Town arrived back at the county ground for the visit of the Shakers, eager to register important back-to-back victories. Paul Scott opened the scoring, but then another strike from in-form Roberts levelled the affair. A last-minute own goal from Bury defender John Fitzgerald secured the Swindon win.
As a striker you're judged on goals, and to be fair, that month I got a few on the score sheet, which is always nice, because that's what I was judged by, scoring goals. The new gaffer had come in by then, I think he came in against Carlisle, and it was a fresh start for everyone, having seen Dennis and Gus go. So it was important that, you get on the right side of him.
Paul Sturrock's warning to his squad ahead of the trip to Field Mill fell on deaf ears on what proved to be a thoroughly disappointing night for the Swindon fans who'd made the lengthy midweek trip. On a freezing night, first half goals from Richie Barker and Simon Brown did the damage on an evening where Swindon failed to live up to their promotion-chasing tag. 4 days later, and a rejuvenated Swindon side arrived at the Bescot Stadium and put on one of their best performances of the campaign. A first ever league goal from Lukas Jutovic set the pulses running, and a second half penalty from Christian Roberts sealed a momentous victory, leaving the Saddlers high and dry as the promotion race intensified with Christmas approaching.
Paul, you must be pleased with the way things have gone so far.
Well, several performances have not been the standard we would like, but to be fair, the players took on board the criticism of the Mansfield game and worked very hard for a couple of days to work out a new system. And I think I'm pleased that they've responded properly and that they've taken on board what we've been looking for.